So what I've got here is my fridge, and what it's done is it stopped producing ice. It kept leaking over and filling my whole ice compartment up with frozen water that you had to defrost. And these are very easy to fix, you just need the parts. So I got my parcel today filled with all my parts that I need. The problem with most of these ice makers are these motors. These motors end up burning up and dying after about 3 years' time. And you just twist it off, and you can purchase one of these motors for about $1.50, maybe an extra $1 for delivery. And you can usually run the codes on here into Google and see what comes up. And these are called a vac motor or a timer motor. You can purchase these. I'll show you how to pull one of these out of the units very shortly. And I'll put that back on for now. Okay, so I've went and bought a brand new ice maker. Here we go. Here's the ice maker. And mine here in Australia is a 24 volt or 240 volt, unlike American ice makers that run at a 120 volts. It doesn't matter, you can continue watching this video. It's fine. Now, after a while, a few of the ice makers here, all this coat here, protective coat that makes the ice slip out, wear out, and if your ice blocks are sticking in there and not really pushing out, you might need to replace this, and you can get this individual part. You can pull apart your ice maker very easily. Now, most of the ice makers that you see on eBay look like this, even though yours might look like that. That's fine. There's usually a plastic cover that just goes on top like that, and you just pull them off. The model number of the ice maker is in here, or you might find it here. My old one is here. So if you're looking for a model number for the ice maker, look here or here, underneath the plastic cover that you can ply off just with a Phillips screwdriver. Another part that usually wrecks on these machines, these ice makers, are these, the water valves. And the little seals inside them tend to leak over time, and that's when you'll get the water running down the hose and filling up your whole compartment full of frozen water. So I had two issues. One of the seals in here was gone, and the motor here was gone. Unfortunately for me, I couldn't just replace the motor for a couple of dollars because this is a 24 volt, as it reads here, or 220 volt motor, and they don't sell many of these ones, and therefore I couldn't get a motor. I tried to get the motor just alone, and it was going to cost me $125 just for the motor alone. So if anyone else can help me with these motors, anything under the $10, help me out please. In the meantime, I found out that it was just cheaper buying the whole new unit for about 60 bucks. Okay, so let's continue how to fix our ice maker. So I put a couple pieces of cardboard underneath the fridge, so when I pull this fridge out, my mum doesn't lose it at me for wrecking her floorboards. So if your ice maker is frozen up in here, it's going to be a pain getting this unit out. But if it's not, it's quite easy. So you remove the ice holder first. And then you got the ice maker here. Make sure the unit is turned off. So once you're removed from this socket, this plug here attached to the ice maker, you need to remove it, you need to squeeze these in, but as you can see they're not really moving, so you need to get a flathead in there and push them out on both sides, and that'll free it up. This is a Phillips, so a flathead, but a Phillips will work. Close your fridge door while you're assembling this unit so all your stuff doesn't get defrosted in the meantime. I'm going to show you how to disassemble this unit. Take off the cover, flathead screwdriver, very easy. Then you pop the cover off. Okay, but before you pop the cover off, you might want to pull this out. It makes it a little easier. The little hook, just twist it and then pops out. And this is where the motor sits. Here, two little screws that hold in place. if you want, and the 2 wires, they go in. You pull the wires out, they're very easy to pull out, and you twist the motor, and you get a new motor, pop it back in, twist it over, and you can squeeze those wires in. Mark the wires before you remove the motor on where they came from, because if you put the wires the wrong way, the motor might not work or run backwards, and you don't want that. Also, there's a way of testing on these units what's actually faulty, and I can put a link down the bottom to show you how to test these units. All you do is get an insulated piece of wire and pop it in each hole, and you can test what's actually wrong with this unit. But usually you can actually buy the timer motor here, the whole unit, buy it, replace it, and off you go. But for me, it's cheaper to buy the whole unit. So what you want to do is, for me, this is my new unit, all brand new as you can see. This is the old one, and I need to take a few parts off this old one to fit my new one. So this cover down here, I need to take that. And replace it on mine. But also I'm going to take the wiring harness, little screwdriver that pops in there, just to pop out the clip. Also you want to check the fuse while you're at it. You can run this with a voltmeter, just from each one, check that the circuit is not blown. So you insert the new one back in. Very easy. You can put the clips and tell the fuses. This feels like a very good direct fit. Put the cover back on. One more screw. Slide that out of the way. And we're good. Okay. Now if I want to replace the other bits I can, but I won't. I'll leave it as the new unit sits now. And connect it back up and she should be good to go. All you need to do is make sure the unit's plugged off and plug it back in. Now this here on the side, that adjusts the amount of time that it lets this valve stay open to pump water in. So if you're half filling up with water and not getting a sufficient amount of water in this ice maker to make ice, you turn the valve. In the manual will show you which way to turn it. So turn it more or less if you're getting too much water or too little water.